So I'm still really wondering what was the point of this decision day, maths lifetime people? What was the point of this decision day? I guess to get the mess going at the end, y'all. First of all, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here on my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows, y'all. We gotta talk about Married at First Sight, Down to the Denver. This is season 17, episode 20, Decision Day, part one, I believe it was called. The pointless decision day is what it should have been called for real. But anyway, y'all, before we get into it, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Let me know what y'all thought of this episode, and share the video where you'd like to share your content. I know a lot of us, we didn't gave up on Married at First Sight. Okay, I remember I was just doing shorts for a good chunk of the season because the episodes were giving nothing. The season is giving absolutely nothing. It is literally a waste of our time. I don't know what we're supposed to do. We don't have any couples. It's a wrap. Chloe and Michael are our only hope at this point, and that is really sad that Chloe and Michael are our only hope. That is really sad, y'all. But anyway, let's get into this review. I was adjusting my camera. Anyway, so the couples, okay, we already know Lauren and Orion, they done, so we ain't got to worry about them. So Becca and Austin are coming for decision day, and they're gonna meet with Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal, and our girl Dr. Pia. I'm gonna turn my light again, and if I can't take it, I'm gonna turn it off. Anyway, so we also have Emily and Brennon, as well as Claire and Cameron. We know Chloe and Michael, they haven't got to their decision day yet. It looks like we're dragging out this season to get to their decision day, and we see all the couples just hang out. What is going on Married at First Sight? Because it's giving very much. We're gonna try to get some people married. Oh, they ain't gonna work out, so we're gonna just put them together, let them hang out, and see what happens. Like, this is turning into a whole different show that we didn't sign up for. It really is. Anyway, let's get into these decisions because this part was so pointless to me. So pointless. This review probably won't even be that long, y'all. So let's get into it. So Becca and Austin go for their pointless decision day because didn't he move out? Everybody moved out on each other. Anyway, Becca says she don't know, what's real and what's not. What she's telling the experts, she didn't really tell them until really like that last meeting she had with Dr. Pia and Pastor Cal, like, Austin is basically switching it up. He act one way on camera and then he acts another way on camera. Dr. P is like, well, he's touching your back and everything right now. So do you feel like that's real? And Becca's like, I want to believe it's real. She's like, but he do be switching it up. She doesn't think like he has to switch like all of a sudden when cameras go away, he's like turning it on and off like that. Like, but he do act different. She feels like she's in a space right now where she can't even trust her own judgment. She's having a lot of anxiety. She is going through it mentally because she's like she don't know what can't separate the real from the fake. Okay. Austin is over there saying that he cares about Becca. He's trying to be intentional. He's trying to do things. As Dr. Pia said before they came out, is that Austin doesn't not express himself and he's kind of lacking some emotional awareness that Becca has a lot of, right? They're very opposite emotionally, right? So Becca, because Pastor Cal was saying, once the cameras and stuff go away, that's when you can really do the work. Like that's the whole part, the whole point. Because Becca's feeling like, Austin switching up off and on camera. So I feel like Becca was kind of pushed into a corner to say yes because she feels like she basically is saying no right now, but yes to like giving it a try to see if it works, something like that. And I was like, girl, you could have just said no. So Austin's like, yep, I feel the same way. Like he didn't give no explanation. He actually hardly said anything. I think Austin definitely is trying to play good guy on camera. He wants to make himself look well. They did talk about how he feels like she, saying he's being dismissive and whatever other word, derogatory. She said, he's lying and all this stuff. And he's like, I haven't said anything derogatory to you. But no, you've been lying. That's what you've been doing. Anyway, they talked outside later on, and she said she just needs to get her mental space together and she wants to try, but she just needs, to get her head together and all that. So he's like, well, I'm happy. Like, you don't look happy. Are you sure? She's like, no, I just need to work through it. I'm like, Austin, you playing. You playing. Austin playing. Why are you playing, Austin? If you don't like this lady, don't talk to her. In the words of our girl Fantasia, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. I need Austin to free himself like a bird. Free yourself, Austin. So Becca can be free too. Okay. So anyway, so they staying together, but that ain't gonna last long as we get to the end of the episode, y'all. So anywho, Emily and Brennan. Now this is when things really got ugly. So Emily came out with her freakum dress on. I said, "Come through, Emily." Even Pascal's like, "You look amazing." Okay. Brennan, he hugged Dr. Pepper down and knocked her back in her chair. I said, "What is happening?" So anyway, um, they get to talking about everything they went through, and Brennan says he learned so much from. I thought I heard a beeping noise, y'all. Sorry. Brennan said he heard so much, or learned. I'm sorry, learned so much from the process, and you really learn to take accountability, and I did this and that. And so Emily was like, it's funny that you're saying all that, because all those things you're saying that you did is things that you did not do. So he's like, oh, I wasn't there for you. Didn't you get an accident? Was not there for you. She's like, I don't understand how you're going to try to make the accident like you saved my life. Like, there you go again with that. He's like, what did I not do for you? It's black or white. It's black and white. It's very much this and that. And so then she was like, no, there's a lot of gray areas. And so he's like, I try to protect you. I try to do this for you. And all the stuff Brennan been saying, I try to do this for you, that for you, all that. And I was like, what are you saying? So then she's like, no, like, that's not what it was. You were like this, you were like that. And so, Dr. Pia said, no, Brennan, you're being very defensive right now. He's like, oh, but you can't see I'm being attacked right now. She said, no, you're not being attacked. So then he was trying to say, oh, I try to protect you. I try to do this and that. So then Pastor Cal saying, like, well, what are you talking about? Like, protecting her? Like, what are you saying? So then he's still trying to say, like, I don't see what I'm doing here. And so then they just going back and forth. The Pastor Cal finally said, this is, and I'm trying to be respectful as possible, but this is some BS. He said, this is some bullshit. Okay. And I was like, yes, Pastor Cal finally got into Brennan's behind, y'all. And so, anywho, side note, before they got into it, all the couples coming out there, the experts was like, oh, child, this has been a heck of a season. Now Pastor Cal, he had them glasses on. He had his glasses on. When he gets to taking them glasses off, he's like, ooh, child, they didn't stress me this season. That's what Pastor Cal was giving, okay? And we are tired, Pastor Cal. We're all tired, okay? I think I'm gonna do the whole review of my glasses on now. Anyway, so then what you call it? So, like I said, Brennan and Emily, they going back and forth and back. And so Pastor Cal said, this is some bull. Okay, no. He said, I could tell something up when I came down there for the first talk with y'all, because you were, it seemed like you was trying not to say something. You didn't want to say something. What are you not wanting to say? And so, like, you guys are trying to keep it one way. And so then that's when Emily was like, no, I could tell you was acting different from the honeymoon. When you came back, you was acting real different. You didn't want to live with me. You had me deleting diary cams. So she started finally exposing Brennan, and I was like, yes, Emily, this is what we've been wanting, girl. This is what you should have did at the after party, okay? But I guess she said she gonna save it all in the clip, okay? So anywho, she was like rat-a-tat on him. So then she said, you said you could destroy me, you could do all this. So Dr. P was like, do you want to defend yourself? Because that's pretty, tough allegation. He was like, no, I never said those things. She's lying. I would never say things like that to her. I tried to protect her. I didn't want her to, have a bad experience and all this stuff. I was like, please stop. And so she said how he would say disrespectful things to her off camera. She knows that if one of the meetings with the experts didn't go well, that she would have to suffer consequences. I wish she would have elaborated on what consequences would she be suffering. That's what I need to know. I hope she tells it in the reunion. Lifetime and Mouse owe that lady some like settlement compensation, okay? Because Emily went through it this season in all kind of ways, physically, emotionally, mentally, everything. So, I gotta take these glasses off now, y'all. Anyway, so Brennan is over there saying, still he's just still lying. Emily talking about how he made her delete the diary cams if he didn't feel like it was telling the narrative he wanted, and they just going back and forth. She said how he tried to say like, oh, I don't want you to have a negative, dating experiences after this, and he would just say just mean stuff to her, and he tried to discredit it. And so Pastor Cal finally got tired of it and said, look, at this point, I don't even want to fight for this. Like, this too much. We don't even need to do all that. Like, I'm not fighting for this. Like, this is, contentious. It's too much. So Dr. Pepper was like, okay, now it's time for y'all to say, let's just have the decision. Dr. Pepper looked stressed. Dr. Pepper didn't see it. Dr. Pepper show don't see it for Austin. When Austin, every time Austin was talking, she was looking like, ugh, she don't see it for him. And she sure don't see it for Brennon. So of course they both said they didn't want to stay together. Emily said, I don't like how Emily was saying, oh, this is this for me, but Brennon, this is you. Like, just make your decision about you, girl. Anyway, they're not staying together. Dr. Pepper said, no, you guys can all reflect. Maybe Brennon, you can continue to self-reflect and continue to have social emotional awareness. I'm sorry, it's late, y'all. And Dr. Cal or Pastor Cal said, yeah, maybe you could even dig a little deeper. Yeah. Emily, they told her, take this, get to know yourself better, you know, take what you learn from it. You learn to stand up for yourself more and do this and that. So Brennan left, and they, Emily, they kind of kept Emily there, kind of poured into her. And Pastor Cal told her, like, don't ever let nobody tell you, talk bad about you or try to tear you down and make you feel bad about who you are. And even Emily was about to leave, and she was standing next to a producer, I guess. And Dr. Pia was just pouring into her, saying, "No, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you are kind, you are smart, you're important." Like, I just appreciated how they poured into her because they knew, like, they already knew Brennan was messed up. I want y'all think. Let me know in the comments if y'all think Brennan gonna even come to the reunion. I got a sneaky feeling that Brennan will not come to the reunion unless he'll get fined. If he don't, so then he gonna show up just so he don't get fined, but he ain't gonna be saying nothing. If he come to that reunion, he not gonna be saying nothing because he already looks horrible right on TV. So anyway, they are not staying together. Of course not. Like I said, what was the point? So anyway, then we get Claire and Cameron. Now Cameron, I was worried about Cameron's life, y'all, because he got out the hospital. Y'all sent y'all cards, y'all teddy bears, y'all flowers. He's hopefully sent y'all thank you cards. If he didn't, let me know in the comments. Anyway, he said he on all kind of medication. He made the mistake of upping his medication before this, thinking it was a good idea. He said he on blood thinners. I was like, I wonder is he taking warfarin? That's my grandma used to take. And something else he taking from his heart. Anyway, Dr. P was also, you gotta be careful getting up and sitting down and stuff. I said he don't even need to be here. So anyway, poor Cameron. So Cameron and Claire come. And so they got to a bunch of mess that was just it was like talking in circles. It was around about. It was very much confusing. I guess there's a lot of stuff off camera that they didn't talk about with the experts because they were trying to protect each other. So Cameron said that kind of made them shot themselves in the foot because they didn't really do the process the way they should. And they also both said that they would often have a lot of miscommunications. Like they would have the same conversation with each other, but experience it in two different ways, and it would cause a lot of contention and miscommunication. Claire tried to downplay how long they were in the apartment together. Cameron said, "Oh no, let's make it clear we was there 3 weeks together." I said, "I know that's right, Cameron." Cameron said, "Not today." Cameron said he ain't playing today. So then Cameron did admit that maybe his communication was not well. Like he could take responsibility for that. He also said, he feels like he did kind of ruin the process. Maybe he was trying to deal with the rejection of her not liking him or anything going on, but he definitely feels like he played a part messing up the process, and he apologized for that. Claire feels like, they also brought up the whole miscommunication with him saying something about her being slender, and she said that he made a comment on her body, and so he said that he said she was slender, and I guess she said she was not. And so he said that the way he sees her body and the way she sees her body were two different ways. And so she said she's had issues with her body and all that, and her body image. And so she took the comment that particular way and ran with it. And so he's like, I also paid you a lot of compliments. Now, is Claire saying she don't see herself as slender? What she see? I don't know. Like some people think they thick and they not. Some people, it just depends. I get it. And so he's also paid you a lot of compliments. And so she's like, yeah, you did. But, I think after that comment, I just couldn't, really hear it. So then he apologized for the parts he played and all that. And they did go back and forth a little bit about different things. But ultimately he did apologize. And she apologized as well. She felt like she felt bad for kind of leaving him hanging because she could never fully express how she felt, and she always felt kind of confused and lost, and she could never express how she really felt, and she felt really bad. And she says, as a therapist, people expect you to know how you feel all the time. And Dr. Pia said, you're not only a therapist, you're a human, Claire. Like, it's okay. Like, I think Claire thought she was gonna have it all together in this process, and she didn't. I think in a way that she thought she would. And so they both, expressed that they really cared for each other, liked each other. So then, they're like, okay, we gotta make a decision. So Cameron said at this time he does not want to stay married. The attraction he had for her at one time, it is gone. He don't feel her that way. And he said, and I will say, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, I wish I could do his accent so bad. He said, now I see you like a sister, like a really great family member that I would love to have. I said, Cameron. Cameron said he coming back, he getting this upper hand. Cameron said, check mate in this episode when he really finna check her at the end. We gonna get into that. Okay, so then Claire, I don't know if Claire made it. I guess Claire said, she gave Cameron great compliments, but they not moving on together. We already knew that he moved out, and she tried to make it like, oh well, he moved out, so we didn't get time to work on this. He's like, no, we it was 3 weeks. Don't do that. So anyway, thank God that was over, right? So then all the couples everybody get together in the end. Now this is when they really, really, really got good. So everybody comes together: Chloe and Michael, Lauren and Ryan, everybody, right? So they go to meet up. And so Becca is in the cam, the little, personal cam, first of all, before this, and said, she heard from the girls, because the girls, Claire and Emily, had went out last night. They had went to dinner. They was drinking, whatever. And she was at home in the bed. And Claire called and said, yeah, Austin is out too. And he with the producer. And Becca said, this producer lady been up in a relationship, and that has been a continued problem. And the fact that he up there doing that, she said she don't even know what to believe anymore. So I said, well, first she said this producer. I said, girl, who the producer? Who was the producer? So we get down to the little meetup, right? Outside in the complex, right? So then everyone's, meeting up, all that. And so they're like, where's Becca? I think Austin said, where's Becca? Then Becca came. I was like, oh, don't tell me Becca not showing up. So Becca's talking to the girls like, oh, what y'all do last night? And so they're like, oh yeah, girl, we went to an Italian restaurant. We had some drinks, girl. We had a good time. So she's like, Austin, did you go out as well? And he was like, oh yeah, I did go out. I had fun. Yeah, I went out. And so she was like, okay, so did you meet somebody when you were there? And then he was like, no, I didn't meet anybody. She was like, were you out with the producer? And then he's like, are you mad at me about something? And I was like, no, answer the question. So then she was like, were you there with the producer? He said, I don't know, Becca. I was like, oh, no, you know. So then she was like, yeah, I heard from the girl. It was like, you was out with the producer last night. He's like, no, she happened to be there and we hung out a little bit. That was it. And so then he backpedaling, lying. So Claire finally spoke up. She's like, no, I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that. You definitely was out there with the producer. Like, you was lying. So then the girls started getting into it, right, with Austin. So then Austin was like, oh, hold up. Like, because the girls is jumping on him. They defending that girl Becca, and I'm not mad at it. So then he was saying, like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I was out. And she was like, yeah, so the fact that you were out with that same producer that has been coming between us, that we've had a problem with before, and the fact that you're sitting up here lying about it, and then you're trying to think that we're going to move on, and this is what I'm talking about, I can't separate the real and the fake from you. So she going off. And so then she said, and don't, like, yes, I am getting elevated at this point, and this is the first time I'm getting elevated in this whole process. And because, like, she's just at her wits and she's tired of being sick and tired. And so then the girls was like, yeah, girl, we don't blame you. And so Austin was like, well, first of all, no, because every time we have heated discussions, this is how you act anyway. Like, this is not the first time. I said, Austin, you tried it. So then they all going back and forth, and the girls is defending her. And so she was like, see, this is what you do. And she's like, it's all you men try to, worry about how the optics are going to be, how you're going to look at a camera. All the men in this process try to worry about the optics and how y'all going to look on camera thinking you're protecting us, but you are not protecting us. That is not what it is. She's like, not you, Michael, because I don't know what you be doing yet. We don't know with Michael and Chloe yet. We don't know. Okay, so anyway, Michael like, well, how did I get in it? So anyway, so Michael and Chloe sitting there like, we didn't got into. Ryan's sitting there like, I ain't saying nothing. So Becca going off, right? So the girls is like, yeah. So it's like, It's like the bitter Betty committees, they going off. But I mean, the girls are right to be mad. So they was like, yeah, y'all all y'all men here try to protect us, try to do this, try to say this, try to do that. Y'all just worried about the cameras and the optics, and we don't need your protection. We don't need that. And so Claire feels like all the men. So they bring up. No, let me backtrack before I say that. They bring up Claire brings up the whole thing with Cameron saying that Brennon or Cameron inviting Brennan to go on the double date, that thing. So Claire was saying something like, "Oh, all you men basically want us to protect you on camera, and you did not protect us. You were not, I did not feel protected. I feel like I had to lie. I feel like I had to do all this." And so Cameron was like, "Wait, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up." He's like, "Wait, so you gonna say that I wasn't protecting you?" And he was like, "No, I was protecting the marriage. You gonna say that?" And so she was like, "No, I'm saying up until that point, yeah, you were. But the whole thing with you trying to tell me," because Claire, I guess, wanted to tell Emily and Brennan, Emily, like, girl, Brennan going on dates with Cameron. And I guess Cameron was telling Claire, like, she needs to stay out of it. Now, this timeline is not adding up to me because wasn't Cameron already away from Claire at this point? So how y'all even having this conversation? Unless they're saying other things are going on with Brennan, and Cameron was trying to tell Claire not to get in it earlier before that time. I'm assuming that's what it is. It was kind of confusing. So anyway, Claire saying, "Well, no, I didn't feel protected. I feel like I had to, do this and that." And so he was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna let you say that. I'm not gonna let you say that." He's like, "First of all, the whole thing about the double date, that was on me. Like, that was a miscommunication I had. That was between me and Brandon. Like, that's what that is." And so Claire's like, "No, I'm not gonna let you say that's a miscommunication. Like, how come everything that go as a as a lie goes wrong, as a miscommunication?" So then the girls and the guys are all arguing, and then child, Austin was looking like, I'm glad it ain't me right now. So then everybody just sitting there like, child. I was like, what is this? I was like, first of all, can't they just go home? We didn't already had decision day. All we care about right now is Chloe and Michael making it to the end. Send everybody else home and give us Chloe and Michael's decision. Why are we watching these people up here fussing and fighting and arguing? But it was entertaining. So we're going to talk about it, right? So, like I said, they fussing and fighting. Cameron getting mad. And I was like, no, Cameron's hard. Y'all stressing Cameron's hard. So Brandon was like, this is not productive. Like, why can't we just agree to disagree? This is not productive. Like, what is this? And so Claire was like, okay, with y'all lying. So we not going to just agree with y'all lying. Like, y'all just keep lying. Like, that's what it is. And so they going back and forth. Becca, Emily, and Claire, they're just done with the men. They're done with the men. So Cameron's like, but I'm not going to let you say that when I have protected you in this marriage. Like, I have not said things you asked me not to say. So Cameron got fed up and he walked away because he was tired. So he said in his confessional, like, I just couldn't take any more of Claire. Like, she is up there lying. I have protected her so much in this marriage. Like, she has so many times off camera told me things to say and not say on camera, of all her secrets, to the point where she's told me not to say on camera that she is not attracted to me. Oh, I believe every word Cameron is saying. Cameron got his flaws too. Cameron's not innocent in this because Cameron does manipulate and weaponize things very easily. Okay, and he will one up you if you one up him. Oh, but I believe every word he said that girl told him not to say that on camera. That's exactly what happened. Because we can tell that you don't like him. Girl, you're mad at the men for doing the same thing you're doing. So Cameron said if we was in the court of law, I will be accused for stealing the candy bar. She will be accused for murder because the stuff that she over here telling me to do, she always texts me on the side telling me to say this, not to say this. She probably texting me right now not to say this. I was like, oh, what? And then did she have her phone out texting at that time? I think she did, but I don't know. Anyway, so Cameron was like, he done. His heart can't take no more of this. Child, he need to go home and take his medicine. Go home, get home, get some rest, get some water, Cameron, okay? Y'all keep him on the prayer line because, God is not through with him yet. So, and he did let Claire know during the decision time with the experts that, his condition happened after, they decided to split and, all that, like she didn't cause it or anything. So anyway, so they was like, where did Cameron go? And they were like, well, he got heart issues, so I don't know. And so then Orion asked, I think somebody asked Becca, like, where does she stand and all that. And so now, mind you, before we got over here, let me backpedal one more time. Michael was saying his confessional. He pretty sure what he know everybody's decision day is. He's like, I'm pretty sure Becca and Austin said yes, and everybody else we already knew they broke up. So we can go and get to it. I said, oh Michael, you almost right. I know Michael knew it wasn't working for nobody, but Becca and Austin ain't it either. Michael, we only got you and Chloe, sir. So anyway, like I said, they was asking Becca like, girl, what you gonna do now? Becca said, I don't know, like at this point, he's lied to me. I trying to make things work, but I really don't know at this point, if things can work. And so then Lauren tells Orion, like, since we're talking about, because I think Orion asked Becca about building the bridge, and she said possibly, maybe, I don't know. So then Lauren basically told Ryan, like, the door's open. I have been communicating, checking on you, and I'm not just taking that lightly. Like, I am trying to still be your friend. The door is open, but you gotta like cut the cake, basically. I was like, girl, why are you giving him anything? Don't give Orion nothing. And it looks like next week they trying to be more than friends. I said, no. Leave Orion in his mama basement. Ugh, Lauren, girl. So anyway, she finna make me mad. So then Lauren asked Chloe and Michael how they're doing. Chloe and Michael said, they're growing, they're doing well. It really don't matter. Okay, I guess they doing good. I don't know. So anyway, that ain't what we're here for. But they said they trying to, continue to get to know each other and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then somehow we got back to Becca. Well, no, Emily and Brennon had a little kumbaya moment, and Emily said, I want to sit right in front of you, Brennon, to tell you this, just so you know that, everything that happened wasn't just on you. It was on me as well. And I had my flaws as well. And I take responsibility. And I just want you to know it wasn't just you. And Brennan's like, yeah, we don't need to do like a blame thing. Like, it's my fault or your fault. It didn't work out. It just didn't work out, and we can move on and try to be cool or whatever. And so they try to do a little side church hug. I was like, Emily, why are you giving him this moment? No, I would not have gave Brennon that at all. I would not have. No, ma'am. Oh, these ladies. What is happening in Denver? It's giving scripted. It's really giving scripted, y'all. So, anywho, it's irritating. I don't know how I stuck it out 20 episodes. Gosh, I don't know how I stuck it out 20 episodes. Like, how long we been reviewing this, y'all? 20 episodes? That's been more than 3 months, right? 4 months. Is it 5 months? It's about 5 months we've been watching this show. That's crazy. So anyway, I can't believe that. So that just devastated my heart, y'all. Anyway, wrapping up the episode. So Brennan and Emily are y'all good. They said they don't take little baby steps. They ain't gonna do nothing. So anyway, somehow we got back to Becca and Austin. So Becca is saying, at this point, she don't think, she can really move forward with Austin, especially after finding out that he lied to her, and this was part of the problem, and this is what he lied about. I want to know what he doing with that producer. That's what I want to know. Like, girl, give us more tea on that at the reunion, please. So she said ultimately right now she cannot, continue this marriage, because there's like asking like, girl, what you doing? Like, you staying together or not? So she's like, no, I can't continue this marriage. This dude, Austin, go in the confessional, talking about, oh, I feel so blindsided right now. How? No, you out with that producer you like. So how? And that producer need to be reprimanded. Y'all know the word. She need to be corrected for interfering in the people's marriages, child. That's what need to happen. This is a mess, y'all. This was a mess. Anyway, y'all, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to the channel. I try to give y'all my best. It's late. I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up early. We got one more day this week, y'all. Tune in tomorrow. We got Ready to Love tomorrow, and at some point I'll get Bold and Bougie in for my Bold and Bougie fans. I ain't even watched the episode yet. Anyway, y'all, like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what y'all think about this dang married at first sight. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all again soon. Bye.